Coming up, North Korea's nuclear program continues to cause conflict in the White House. More on what officials are saying leading up to the summit in Vietnam.
And singer R. Kelly is still behind bars. More on why he claims he can't make bail.
All that and more today, Monday, February 25th. Good morning, Emerson. I'm Tyler Robichaux.
And I'm Sydney Zuckerman. Definitely a lot of international news this week, and the Oscars was last night.
Yeah, with no host. But our entertainment correspondent will have more on that later. Here are this week's top stories. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said that North Korea still poses a nuclear threat. This statement contradicts President Trump's statement after he tweeted last June that they were no longer a threat. A recent and confidential UN report claims that North Korea's nuclear program is still intact. According to CNN, the president is meeting with Kim Jong-un next week at a summit in Vietnam, where it is expected that he will try to convince the North Korean leader to abandon the nuclear program.
Much needed supplies will not be entering Venezuela this week. That's because the U.S. finance ship carrying them was forced to turn around after the Venezuelan government threatened to open fire on it. This comes after Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro put a blockade on all aid entering the country. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo called Maduro a, quote, sick tyrant for denying food and aid to his country.
One body was recovered at the scene of a plane crash in Texas. The cargo plane with 3 people on board crashed into the shallow water of Trinity Bay. The plane was on its way to Houston and was operating on behalf of Amazon. Dive teams are at the crash site and it is still under investigation.
A California senator had a heated debate this week. A group of over a dozen student activists wrote a letter to Senator Dianne Feinstein asking her to back the Green New Deal. When they hand-delivered it, the students and senator clashed. Feinstein saying she was not going to back the plan, criticizing the kids' request and saying they can't even vote. The group posted a video of the entire event to their Facebook page.
A tornado hit Columbus, Mississippi as severe storms blew through the south this weekend. There were no deaths or injuries reported, but the tornado did cause damage in the city's commercial district. Other areas in the region experienced days of heavy rain and flooding. This led to Alabama's Governor Kay Ivey declaring a state of emergency in multiple counties to help the recovery process. Now let's go to our weather correspondent, Alex Haskell, and hear about the weather that's a little closer to home.
Thank you, Tyler and Sydney, and good morning, everyone. We start Boston's 5-day forecast with a high wind warning that was put up by the National Weather Service. It went into effect late last night and it will remain in effect until late tonight. Gusts are expected to exceed 60 miles per hour and you're looking at a high in the upper 30s for today. As we move on to Tuesday, very cold weather. It'll be mainly sunny, but we will see a high of 26 and low of 18. Wednesday, even colder. Boston temperatures will hover around the lower 20s during the day. At night, temperatures will go down to as low as 8 degrees. Thursday will get a little warmer, a high of 34. We will have to watch a very weak system on Thursday, though. There is a chance of light snow in Connecticut, but there's a possibility that that system will move up to our area. We will keep an eye out on that for you. Then Friday, partly cloudy and a high of 35. That's all the weather I have for you. And guys, not windy at all out there, huh?
Yeah, no, I was surprised by those flurries earlier, though. That was wild.
Yeah. I was being sarcastic. It is windy out there.
It was so windy. This morning when I was walking in, it made my eyes water. My eyes get watery in the wind. I don't know if that's just me.
Oh no, like
is that a thing?
It's bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was walking across the common today to get to the studio, and the trees were blowing everywhere, and it was cold. And I'm just hoping for the day where I can come in and say, guys, it's gonna be 90 today and warm, no wind.
You think that's coming up soon?
No, we have snow on the way, so.
Well, I wish, and thank you, Alex.
Yes.
Now let's go to our sports correspondent, Angel Salcedo, who will tell us more about one surprising victory very close to home.
Well, no one believed it would happen, but the Emerson Lions are new MAC champions. The men's basketball team faced off against WPI this past Saturday and secured the first new MAC championship in program history. The Lions were propelled by 16 points from both Zach Waterhouse and Jeff Gray, along with 33 from Jack O'Connor. In a season where they were projected to finish with just 3 wins, the Lions defied the odds, and something tells me this is the first of many championships to come. Several basketball players at Ole Miss knelt during the playing of the national anthem. The players were reportedly kneeling in protest to a Confederate rally that was taking place only a mile away from where the game was being played. Students at Ole Miss joined the players in protesting the rally by marching on campus this past Friday. New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft is facing charges of soliciting prostitution. Only a month removed from a 6th Super Bowl victory, Kraft is one of more than 100 people linked to receiving paid sexual acts at several Florida day spas. Kraft's camp has denied any accusations, saying, "We categorically denied that Mr. Kraft engaged in any illegal activity. Because this is a judicial matter, we will not be commenting further." Dustin Johnson is back in the winner's circle, ladies and gentlemen. Justin put together 4 amazing rounds of golf to win the World Golf Championship in Mexico by 5 strokes, shooting 21 under par. Known for pounding the ball a country mile, DJ absolutely tore up Mexico, averaging 330 yards per drive with one 404-yard bomb. DJ has been on fire since putting a new tailor-made M6 driver into the bag, and with 2 wins in 2 months, he looks poised to have another amazing season. That's all I have for sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Emerson is known for its focus in the arts, and that includes a talented student body. Our very own Maria Sato shows us how some students embrace songs of diversity. Take a look.
Emerson students performs a charity cabaret for celebrating diversity and people of color on February 16th.
With 3 weeks of practice, performers sang songs from various musicals with live music. Their goal was to spread awareness on campus, and by telling their stories through singing, they believed that they can make it impactful. After the performance, they had a short discussion on what diversity meant for the performance and directors. The donation went to support students of color in Emerson's Performing Arts Department.
Lady happy, that's what I long to be. Someday soon, I'll make you proud of your boy. Though I can't make myself taller or smarter or handsome or wise. So what about How many white people have you seen do this role?
Of roles on Broadway aren't racially binding, and so I found that really important. Just because we are people of color doesn't mean that we have to be pigeonholed in one role. We can play anyone, really.
And just the struggle of me having to find a song and how difficult it was is something that white people don't typically have to deal with, and so I really had to think outside of the box on what I could sing and how I can relate that to my own personal story. There's only so much that can be said in the lyrics of a song, so I think that having the opportunity to use a projection and say quotes that meant a lot to us was a really big deal for us to do and for the audiences to see.
It's almost like it's all talk and no action. So that's why we started off with Actions Speak Louder Than Words, a song that explicitly says that.
For Good Morning Emerson, I'm Maria Sato, your Emerson News correspondent.
And when we come back, we'll hear the latest on the Jussie Smollett controversy.
All right, come back in 10 seconds. Ready, camera 1. Camera 1, get a wide shot of the entire thing, and in 3, 2, 1, take it. Talent cue.
Welcome back to Emerson College. Emerson
Camera
trails
4, get a shot of the players coming across the court.
10 seconds left. Emerson trails by 1 point. As
Camera
the
2,
team
close on the
finishes
person
their
shooting.
timeout. Thanks, Joe. With 10 seconds left, Emerson is hoping to pull away and score this big one.
Camera 1, get close and follow them over.
Emerson trails WPI 10 points. 10 seconds left. Emerson trails by 1 point as the team finishes their timeout.
Camera 1, More explosive on number 33.
Thanks, Joe. 10 seconds left. Emerson's looking to pull away.
Follow the ball, follow the ball.
Welcome back to Good Morning Emerson.
Now let's go to our entertainment correspondent, Elizabeth Perkin, who will get us up to speed on last night's Oscar ceremony.
The 91st Academy Awards took place last night without a host. Maya Rudolph, Amy Poehler, and Tina Fey opened the Oscars poking fun at all the negative comments that have been making headlines surrounding the show. Some of the presenters that carried the show include Awkwafina, John Mulaney, and more. As for the winners of the night, well, we'll save that for the tea. Terrence Howard is coming to his Empire co-star Jussie Smollett's defense, telling fans that, quote, "The Jussie I know could never conceive of something so inconsinuous," unquote. Empire has decided to remove him from the last 2 episodes of the season. Smollett continues to maintain his innocence even after posting $100,000 bond. He was arrested and charged with allegedly filing a false report. Smollett is due back in court on March 8th.
Good. All right.
His $1 million bail. This comes after his court hearing on Saturday. He was charged with 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse. Kelly claims he is unable to pay the bail because of missed child support payments and overdue rent, according to court documents. 3 of the 4 women who said Kelly abused them were under the age at the time of their attacks. And now for the tea. Back to the Oscars. Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper gave us the performance we've been waiting for all award season when they performed Shallow. And how can we forget about Green Book, who won Best Picture? A lot of history was made last night. So who are you guys rooting for?
I feel like Green Book won everything. And it was literally, I wasn't sure who I was rooting for in most situations, but honestly, that was like one of the only movies I hadn't seen yet. So I just wasn't so excited when it kept winning everything.
Yeah.
Obviously, Star is Born, we were all excited for
Yeah.
all of those ones. I don't know, what were you rooting for?
Yeah, no, I mean, I hadn't seen it either. I understand. I mean, it looked like a really good movie. But yeah, no, I loved Star is Born for sure, one of my favorites. That performance was amazing.
Yes.
I loved Bohemian Rhapsody. That was one of my favorites. I know there was a lot of controversy about it, but
They won a few Oscars last night.
Yeah, he
but,
won Best Actor, right?
I'm
think
not
so.
too sure,
Yeah.
but they
Yeah,
won
he
something
did.
for editing. But the big shocker came when Olivia Colman won for Best Actress for her movie over Glenn Close, because Glenn Close had been nominated 7 other times previously.
Yes, that's wild.
That is crazy, 7 times.
Yeah.
Oh, does she have any other Oscars?
Not Glenn Close. She won a Golden Globe, so everyone thought she was going to take home the Oscar.
Right.
But unfortunately, it wasn't her night again.
Oh, do you think she's gonna EGOT before Lady Gaga does?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just a crazy night, and it went pretty smoothly without a host, even though like they just had different presenters going on and talking about.
Yeah, why do you think they did that?
Well, I mean, the whole Kevin Hart backed out, right? And then they didn't. I don't think they had time. But I liked it. I thought it was cool that they all got their own little bits, like the people that came out
Yeah,
and had a little more
definitely.
time to have
Yeah.
some fun. So I don't know. I kind of liked it.
Yeah, I
That's
really
cool.
liked Melissa McCarthy and her segment about the costumes and what she wore. I thought that was
Yeah,
super
The
funny.
cats
That
on the
was so
train
fun.
of her dress.
Yes.
That was so fun.
Maybe
love
she
it.
should have won Best Dress of the night.
Seriously. Do we know who did win?
No, there's a lot of good
There's
dresses.
yeah, that's true. I feel
Too
like
hard to pick just one.
exactly. Every website will be saying something different today.
Exactly.
True.
It's very fair. But thank you very much. And now we're going to go to Natalie, who is in Hollywood this week for the Oscars, actually.
The red carpet, big name stars, and shocking wins all help make the Oscars one of the most trending topics in the world. I'm here in Hollywood for the 91st Academy Awards. The streets near the Dolby Theater have been blocked off in the days leading up to the big night. Crew members are hard at work, and tourists have been trying to sneak a peek on the Hollywood Boulevard. This year's Oscar nominees are among one of the most diverse groups ever acknowledged by the Academy. Movies like Black Panther and Roma are helping bring minority groups to the forefront for what many hope will be a new chapter for the Oscars. Let us know what were your favorite moments and parts of the big night by tweeting out the hashtag WTGME.
Thank Thanks, guys. Well, I have championship point guard Trevor McLean in the studio with me today after Emerson basketball's first championship in program history. Trevor, talk to me. You come out of high school, 4 years of high school ball. You're looking at colleges, and you choose Emerson, not really known for their basketball. What were your expectations to start this season?
Yeah, so I played 4 years of high school basketball. I actually went to a prep school at Brewster Academy in New Hampshire, so I was away from home, and my family couldn't really see me play, but I wanted to come back to the city where I'm from and kind of, playing from my family and friends, but I also wanted to do damage in the league, and I felt like, we had the group of guys to do that.
So at what point in this season, I know you start off a little bit slow. You face BU, a tough opponent in your first game, really getting to know your teammates. What point in the season did you decide, hey, we can actually do something here? We might be able to make the playoffs and make a push for the title.
Yeah, so out of conference, we were winning some games, but we were also losing a lot, and our freshmen were really, lacking the knowledge because we're just freshmen, so we had to kind of pick up on the fly, and our coaches were really pushing us, play as seniors, you're not freshmen anymore. So I think over the break when we came back and we started winning all those conference games, those are tough games to win, but we kept winning them. So we all looked at each other and said, we can really do this.
So what is the difference for you? You come from a high school ball background. Obviously, everyone plays high school ball. What is the difference going from running a team in high school to running a team in college?
In high school, especially prep school, people are just trying to play, to stay in shape. There's only about maybe like 3 or 4 real basketball players on each team. The rest are, lacrosse or football players just trying to stay in shape. But in college, everyone's a basketball player, and everyone works hard, from the starters to the end of the bench, everyone's a basketball player. So you have to play them straight up, and there's no more, cheating every person. It's just, you got to play everyone straight up.
So last year, we had Michael Shang, our team point guard. He was a scoring guard.
Yeah.
Your style is more of run the system, pass the ball, and when the shots come to you, you shoot them, but you don't look for shots.
Yeah.
A lot of basketball fans see that as, oh, he's not a scorer, he's not giving us points every night.
Mm-hmm.
How do you block that talk out? And when big situations come up, how do you block that out and just play your game?
Yeah, Shang was a tough loss for the team, and I understood that, and I understood that, I had to fill that role. But I just try to win games. I block out all the scoring. People care about scoring 1,000 or, getting a bunch of, milestones. But I don't really care. I just want to be, the winningest point guard in Emerson history and just win games and win some more NUMAC championships.
Well, thanks, Trev. I have a feeling this isn't going to be the last one we see from you guys.
Yeah.
Well, after the break, we'll hear from the Healing and Advocacy Collective about all the resources they offer Emerson students. Don't go anywhere.
I'm Sean Stackhouse.
And I'm Mary Malloy.
And this is Good Morning Emerson.
Wake up with us.
Welcome back, and we're here with Melanie, Greta, and Truman from the Healing and Advocacy Collective. Thank you both so much for being on the show. So how did you guys get started in this line of work? Like, us a little bit of the path to get here.
Yes. Well, way back in high school and middle school, I was actually involved in a lot of student activism efforts, and so it felt like just the natural trajectory to continue along in this effort. It's something that's very important to me, and so that's what's led me.
Yeah. I would say similarly involved in activism in high school and college. And then prior to coming to Emerson, I was working at Fenway Health and working with a lot of college students. And so it felt like a really wonderful opportunity to actually be at the college supporting people rather than being off at a different organization.
Definitely, yeah. Well, it seems like it was just natural flow, meant to be.
Can you tell us a little bit about what Healing and Advocacy is? And I know you recently had a name change as well, so.
Yes, so the Healing and Advocacy Collective is here to support folks who have been impacted by power-based interpersonal violence, and we are over in the Anson building on the 3rd floor. Folks are welcome to stop by and visit us at any point. Also, Truman is typically here on Mondays and Wednesdays and happy to visit. This is actually what he does. So if folks come in and visit us, he's, you know, curling up right next to people or there to be petted.
It's making me feel definitely a lot more calm and at peace. So high recommendation. I was just about to ask, so you said it's 3rd floor of Anson?
Yes.
Yeah.
Could anyone just walk in? Do you have to call ahead? What's like the process?
We try and be as accessible for people as possible. So if folks want to just drop by, as long as our doors are open, people don't need an appointment. They're welcome to just stop by. We know that Emerson students are really busy, and so sometimes people are like, I'm only free on this 1 hour. So if people want to make an appointment, they're welcome to email us or call. And then we also work with students who are at ELA and at the Castle. And so we'll connect with people over the phone or via Skype or Google Hangout. And we're happy to adjust our schedules accordingly because we know there's a time difference there.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you both so much for being on the show.
Absolutely.
And Truman as well, our guest of honor.
Love.
But we're actually now going to go to our healthy living correspondent, Kenya Hunter, and she's going to show us a yummy chickpea recipe.
When you're a vegetarian, sometimes it's hard to find protein-rich snacks. So today I'm offering a solution for vegetarians and just anyone who wants to try it. Roasted chickpeas. So if you want to put away the potato chips and try something healthier, follow along with me. So first, preheat your oven to 400 degrees. After that, take a can of rinsed chickpeas, pour them in a bowl, get a baking sheet and grease it with olive oil. Pour the chickpeas on the baking sheet and then put them in the oven for about 20 minutes. While your chickpeas are roasting, you can start making your seasoning mix. Get 1/2 of a teaspoon of paprika, then get about 1/4 of a teaspoon of cumin, 1/2 of a teaspoon of garlic powder, a little bit of seasoning salt, 1/2 a teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt. Any salt will do, but I like pink Himalayan salt for the nutrients. And then just eye the black pepper until you're satisfied. Then take a spoon, mix them all together. After your 20 minutes is up, take the chickpeas out of the oven, but leave the oven on. Get about 1/2 teaspoon of olive oil and pour them over the chickpeas. That will act as an adhesive for your seasoning mix. If you're not satisfied with how much olive oil is on the chickpeas, then just add a little more. Take your seasoning mix and use a spoon to spread it as evenly as you can. Put your chickpeas back in the oven for 20 more minutes. And then you have a protein-rich snack. For Good Morning Emerson, I'm Kenya Hunter.
When we return, Samantha Wolf will show us some ways you might want to spice up your next party.
Don't go anywhere.
Make up for it, fires to the end zone, touchdown! Alabama wins! Step back, Walker, Carney, and Kimba does it again, Utah! Right back there, all right!
Alright, come back in 10 seconds. Ready, camera 1. Camera 1, get a wide shot of the entire thing, and in 3, 2, 1, take it. Talent cue.
Welcome back to Emerson College. Emerson
Camera
trails
4, get a shot of the players coming across the court.
10 seconds left. Emerson trails
Camera 2, close up on the person shooting.
Thanks, Joe. With 10 seconds left, Emerson is hoping to pull away and score this game.
Camera 1, gonna close up, follow them over.
Emerson trails WPI 10 points. 10 seconds left. Emerson trails by 1 point as the team finishes their timeout.
Camera 1, close up on number 33.
Thanks, Joe. With 10 seconds left, Emerson is hoping to pull away.
Follow the ball, follow the ball.
Welcome back. We're here with our Life Hacks correspondent, Samantha Wolf, to learn how to make some fun favors for your next themed party. What do you have here for us?
Thanks, guys. So I don't know about you, but one of my favorite things to do during Bachelor season is to get together with my friends every single night of the show, and we have a fun little get-together. But I was thinking, what way to make it more fun is to have some DIYs. So first, I have your little invitations for your viewing party. So so I made them kind of like date cards. So my one idea was let's make our dreams a reality.
Oh, I love
TV.
that.
Yeah, so thank you. You got to be really corny on those, of course. And so so that's like a fun way to keep it the theme and keep it DIY.
Yes.
So this other thing that I made was Bachelor Bingo. This one is really
Colton Cries. Is that
yeah.
This one here says Colton Cries.
So it's fun to have these because it's a great way to stay engaged during the game, during the show. And of course, it's fun to like have a little competition with your friends, see who can get to bingo first. And the only thing you need to do is rearrange the words so you can have different cards for each person. It's super easy to make online. So
I love this.
Yes, and of course, the most entertaining part of the show is the rose ceremony. So I came up with a little DIY rose chocolate covered strawberry for you. So that's what we're gonna make today. So
is so
first,
fun.
first we start off by taking our, you guys can like help yourselves too.
I'm gonna go with this blue one.
So we're gonna
Those are my
attach, we're gonna attach with some tape the, I should have gotten this first. So
I'm not very crafty, so.
well, it's a super easy craft too. Yeah, I just have some straws here and some leaves I cut out with construction paper.
Thank you.
And then you want to take a strawberry and just skewer that with the straw. And then you can put the chocolate all around. Yep. And have a little fondue night with your friends.
Oh my God, this is so much fun.
Yes. Will you accept this rose?
Oh.
Is this real?
Oh,
yes.
this is for real.
Am I going to the next round?
So yeah.
Do you recommend putting them in the fridge after, eating them when the chocolate's still
I kept these.
warm?
Well, I kept these in the fridge. It's a good way to keep them solid before you go in. Yeah, be careful. Sometimes the stem helps to get in the way. But yeah, no, I think this is a great fun way to have a little dessert while you're watching. It's always great to have some food.
Oh my God, if we're watching The Bachelor, you know we're eating ice cream and like just the whole thing.
Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed these little crafts that you can do with your friends. We'll be watching tonight, Hometowns, and so maybe you'll even use a few of these. So thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much. We'll definitely be eating these tonight.
Yes.
And thank you all for waking up with us. We will see you on Wednesday.